have some. It's my specialty.
What's so special about this tea?
Nothing in particular. It's the same as the rest of the tea.
So why did you call it your specialty?
Because I make it well.
What?
Tea!
Yes, please.
No room! No room!
There's plenty of room.
Have some wine.
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. It's laid for a great many more than 3.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I believe I could guess that.
Do you mean that you think you could find out the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least, I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. Why, you might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same with you.
No.
What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong? I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It was the best butter.
Yes, but the crumbs must have got in as well.
It was the best butter, you know.
What a funny watch. It tells the day of the month and doesn't tell what o'clock it is.
Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not, but that's because it stays the same year for such a long time together.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't understand you.
The dormouse is asleep again.
Of course, just what I was going to remark myself.
Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give it up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you might do something better with the time than wasting it asking riddles that have no answers.
If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you don't. I dare say that you never even spoke to time.
Perhaps not, but I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
Oh, that accounts for it. He won't stand beating. Now, If you only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you liked with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time, and around goes the clock in a twinkling. 1:30, time for dinner!
I only wish it was.
That would be grand, certainly. But then I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know.
Not at first, perhaps, but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you liked.
Is that the way you manage?
Not I. We quarrelled last March, just before he went mad, you know. It was the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at." You know the song, perhaps?
I've heard something like it.
It goes on, you know, in this way. "Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. Twinkle, twinkle."
Twinkle, 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 twinkle.
Well, I hardly finished the first verse when the Queen bawled out,
He's murdering the time! Off with his head!
How dreadfully savage!
and ever since that, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason so many tea things are put out here?
Yes, that's it. It's always tea time, and we've no time to wash things between whiles.
Then you keep moving around, I suppose.
Exactly so, as the things get used up.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Suppose we change the subject. I'm getting tired of this. I vote the young lady tells us a story.
I'm afraid I don't know one.
Then the dormouse shall.
Wake up, Dormouse.
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you fellows were saying.
Tell us a story.
Yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep again before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly, and they lived at the bottom of a well.
What did they live on?
They lived on treacle.
They couldn't have done that, you know. They'd have been very ill.
So they were. Very ill.
But why did they live at the bottom of the well?
Take some more tea.
I've had none yet, so I can't take more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
Why did they live at the bottom of the well?
It was a treacle well.
There's no such thing.
Shh!
If you can't be civil, you'd better finish the story for yourself.
No, please go on. I won't interrupt again. I dare say there may be one.
One indeed. And so, these 3 little sisters,
They were learning to draw, you know.
What did they draw?
Treacle.
I want a clean cup. Let's all move one place on.
But I don't understand. Where did the treacle come from?
You can draw water out of a water well, so I should think you could draw a treacle out of a treacle well. Eh, stupid?
But they were in the well.
Of course they were. Well in.
they were learning to draw.
And they drew all manner of things. Everything that begins with M.
Why with an M?
Why not?
That begins with an M, such as mouse traps and the moon and memory and muchness. You know what you say, much of a muchness? Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of a muchness?
Really? Now you ask me, I don't think...
Then you shouldn't talk!
No, No, no.